Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well today. We've got a really big story to talk about, one that's making headlines across the country and even around the world. It's about the massive immigration raid that just happened at the Hyundai LG Energy Solution electric vehicle battery plant construction site in Ellable, Georgia. This raid, carried out by ICE and other federal agencies, has been called the largest single-site enforcement action in the history of the Department of Homeland Security. Nearly 475 workers were detained, and what's really drawing global attention is that more than 300 of them were South Korean nationals. Now, think about that for a second. Hundreds of people arrested in one single operation. Imagine what that looks like on the ground, with construction coming to a complete stop, workers being questioned, and a project worth billions of dollars suddenly grinding to a halt. The plan itself is part of a huge investment by Hyundai, estimated at over $12 billion in Georgia, and it was supposed to help transform the state into a hub for electric vehicle manufacturing. But with construction paused, a lot of people are wondering what this means not just for jobs and local communities, but for the EV industry as a whole. So, here's a question for you. Do you think enforcing immigration laws this aggressively is worth the potential economic setbacks it could cause? On one hand, the government says it's protecting American jobs and making sure companies follow the law. On the other, it's halting progress on one of the biggest green energy projects in the United States. Which side do you lean toward? South Korea, of course, didn't stay silent. Their foreign ministry expressed regret and concern, urging the U.S. to respect the rights of their citizens and business interests. That makes sense, right? If hundreds of your citizens were suddenly detained in a foreign country while working on a massive industrial project, you'd want answers too. This has the potential to create tension between the U.S. and South Korea, which are usually strong economic and security partners. So the question becomes, could immigration enforcement actually end up hurting international relationships that the U.S. depends on? Another interesting angle here is the role of subcontractors. A lot of these workers weren't directly hired by Hyundai or LG, but were brought in through layers of smaller companies. That makes it harder to keep track of who is authorized to work and who isn't. But it also raises accountability issues. Should big corporations like Hyundai be held responsible for what their subcontractors do, or should the blame fall on those smaller firms that actually made the hires? It's a tough one, and it shows just how complicated global business has become. From the White House's perspective, though, the message was pretty clear. The administration says this raid was about upholding immigration law and ensuring fairness in employment. Officials emphasized that jobs in the U.S. should go to people who are legally authorized to work here. That sounds reasonable, but here's another thought-provoking question. Do you think actions like this will actually help the U.S. workforce in the long run? Or could it scare off the very companies that are bringing billions in investment and new jobs? What happens next is going to be very important. Federal agencies are still investigating, looking deeper into contractor networks and employment records. Hyundai and LG have said they're cooperating fully, but construction at the site is paused indefinitely. And when you think about how competitive the EV market is worldwide, even a small delay could have big consequences. If production gets pushed back, it doesn't just affect Hyundai. It affects supply chains, local economies, and even consumers waiting for more affordable electric vehicles. So here's where I want to hear from you. What do you think the balance should be? Should the U.S. enforce immigration laws no matter what, even if it risks disrupting huge projects like this? Or should there be more flexibility when international companies are investing billions of dollars into American communities? There's no easy answer, but these are the kinds of questions that will shape the future of both immigration policy and economic growth. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and diving into this story. If you found this discussion interesting, please take a second to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more updates and deep dives on major stories shaping our world. Share this video with a friend who loves to stay informed, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.